Hello, everybody. My name is Alexis. I'm an entrepreneur, speaker, and author of the book A Journey into Truth, Unveiling Life's Secrets for Truth Seekers. And you are watching the Vibrate to Create YouTube channel. And on this channel, I talk about life, philosophy, meaning, art, spirituality, metaphysics, and so much more. If you're interested in topics like these, then click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified of when I post new videos so you never miss a video. Thank you for being a part of my journey. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Along those lines, I've also recently been watching, her name is Candace Owens, and she has very different viewpoints than many people. And I think I've also been very open to listening to her opinions and what she believes in and why she believes it. And she's a very tenacious woman. I think it's beautiful. She's not afraid of her power or to stand up for herself. And so I really respect that. And I see the love for her family system. She's very much like, she calls herself conservative. So one of the things is she believes women shouldn't just be displaying their bodies, openly and just taking off all their clothes on social media and being sexualized. And in some ways, I can understand what she's saying and why she believes that, because in her family system, it's like more respect for femininity, more respect for the self, and not looking for validation on social media from people based on what your particular body looks like. And I can also see the other side of the coin where those feminist types are very much like, well, I want freedom. I want to not feel suppressed as if, I'm bad for being a sexual human being, or if it's like two extremely different sides of the coins. Like, that's my main point here. It's like, and to me, I'm very much a person who I like to hear opinions and different takes on different things. And whenever I feel that resistance come up inside, it's like, now I know where my family systems are, or where my loyalties are to a system. And it's important to be aware of those things, because we can make enemies of people who are very different from us. But anyways, let's keep going, because I only have about 30 minutes left in the studio.
I know in the family constellations when you work that you often check with members who don't feel right, that you keep going back to those people who somehow don't feel right in their place or in their position. Does that mean that they are carrying something from the family, or?
Yes. And then I look for their place, or get in other members of the family until they feel right. See? At the end, all members of the family considered feel at the right place and they feel good. And that shows the resolution has been found.
And along those lines, also your work, you talk about orders of love.
How funny. I was just about to pause it to talk about orders of love, because this is something I've learned in my trainings. And the orders of love, like, let's say in the right, almost healthy dynamic, it would be, there's the grandparents who are here, and then there's the children who are in front of them, and then the children, it goes this way as well. So it's like the oldest to the youngest. This would be the order of love. The oldest passed down this way, and the parents passed down this way. And so let's say this is my grandparents. This is my parents. This would be the right place where the children are here, and in order of oldest to youngest siblings. If it's out of placement, like let's say that these parents, let's say it's like my parents, for example. Let's say my parents went without their parents. Let's say they, out of love and unknowingly, decided to become parents to their parents. Like, let's say they had parents who were very addicted to certain things, and so they needed somebody to help take care of them. And so let's say that my parents went into the placement of becoming parents to their own parents. So they went without parents. And then energetically, this keeps getting passed down through generations. So my parents went down the same pathway as their parents, and so they needed someone to help them. And so I decide to become parents to my parents, and I also go without parents. And I say, it's basically like it's like saying no to life and disrespecting the flow of energy that moves forward, and not saying yes to life, basically, to the people who gave the movement forward. So in family constellations, as we would put people in their right placements, they would feel more at ease, more at peace, and like they were in their right placements. It's very beautiful when you can experience what it's like when you're in a placement of caring. Like, let's say you're representing a child who takes care of their parents, and so they go without parents. It feels so much like carrying so much weight, and it feels so much like not having support or not saying yes to life. So many times this can lead to somebody who has many illnesses, or this can lead to somebody who doesn't accept a lot of abundance in their life, or doesn't say yes to a lot of the beautiful things that life has to offer. And so, because they don't have backing from behind. And so in a constellation, when you're in that placement where you're in the out of placement, and then you get placed into your right placement where you become the child, you just feel this moment of like, oh, man, I can breathe. Like, I'm not carrying so much all on my own. It's almost like the hero child who thinks they can save everybody. I have this. And then when you're in your right placement, I'm about to cry. When you're in your right placement, it's like, oh, now I'm receiving life. Now I'm taking life from those who came before me, and you feel so much more supported because you have all of your ancestors there behind you to support you, and you're actually in your right placement, and it feels so much better when you can see the differences of what it feels like. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
That what you aim for is for love to flow again in a family. Are there any general kind of interventions that you do frequently that achieve that aim? Is there something specific that you know how to make go in that direction?
Well, first of all, what I found out, and what everybody can, of course, confirm, is that love alone does not succeed. You see couples, who really love one another, and they're in for trouble. Or parents love their children dearly, and they don't develop the way they want to.
So love is not enough, love alone.
Love is not enough. Love can only succeed if it follows certain orders. And by the family constellation, these orders come to light. Now, one of the orders is that all have equal dignity. So
regardless of age or station or gender.
Let's say a man was married before. Then he separated from the wife, and the wife is angry with him, whatever the circumstances were. Now he marries again, see? Now the first wife very often is excluded. The man justifies the separation by speaking in a bad way about his first wife. And the second wife justifies her marriage with the man by speaking badly of the first wife. Now she is not acknowledged. Now the result is that once they have children, one of the children represents the first wife and has the same feelings as the first wife. And she, because she represents the first wife, she becomes a rival to her mother. She can't be a child. And she becomes secretly a partner to her father, and she can't be a child either. So the order of love would be that the husband says to his first wife, "You were my great first love. And thank you for everything you gave to me. I honor this. And you may keep what I gave to you. And please look now friendly on my second wife and on my children." And if the first wife is acknowledged this way, she looks friendly. Then the child no longer has to represent the first wife.
Because something is excluded that's
been included again.
The term that we've used is to honor those who came first. And that includes like first loves. And even like we were talking about earlier, those who come first, those who are behind me, the parents, the grandparents, the oldest down to the siblings who came after. And also, like he was saying, those first loves as well. And this is very not common in a lot of our society to look at it this way. It's like you always hear these things about like my first wife was a bee, or I hate my first wife. And it's like very unknowingly, because nobody has been taught things like family constellations. Unknowingly, this is how these unhealthy dynamics get passed on within the family system energetically, because it's like an oversoul, I guess would be the right word. It's like an understanding of things energetically that you don't even have to say. Like when parents have, let's say there's parents who are fighting, many times the children will pick up this energy and acknowledge and feel this emotion that the parents aren't acknowledging themselves, out of love for the parents. And many times people are like, I don't understand why that child is so angry. And in actuality, it's because of those who came before them. And they're picking up this energy. And the parents don't even have to do it in front of the child or to let the child know that they're angry with each other. It's an energetic, soul level connection, right? Because we were talking about earlier, the DNA, the epigenetics, the things that are getting passed down.
This is an order of love, for instance. And they lose something by this, personally.
So you're saying the respect and the honor is important of that.
It's very important.
So for the orders of love to be established, for love to flow, you're saying one thing that is important is inclusion, all this, what we have been talking about. What are some other things that are important that you look for?
Well, among the orders of love, it's very important that those who came first take first place.
So the older ones, came first by years.
The parents are more important than the children.
More important in what way?
They must tell their children, we come first. If we want something, that comes first. And what you want comes second. And then the child feels safe if that is done. If the children become more important than the parents, something is disturbed. For instance, very often if a couple has difficulties, I ask them, what's more important to you, your relationship or you being a parent? Very often, once they have children, being a parent becomes more important than their personal relationship. And then that is a disturbance. If they now return to having to look at their relationship as the basis of everything else, then children feel happy. They are much better parents than as if they just concentrate on the children. That would be also an order of love.
So that is a general introduction to family constellations. I tried to film this beforehand, but I think this might be a much better introduction. I haven't edited the video or filmed the video yet, but I felt intuitively called to just do this particular one. I think this would be a much better introduction to family constellations on this channel. But yeah, I love this work so much. And out of all the modalities and the things that I've learned and the years of training I've had, I feel like this is the one that to me feels one of the most impactful and is also my favorite. So I feel like family constellations will be in my life for a very long time. Not necessarily maybe that I will be doing constellations, which maybe that could be something in the works. Maybe I'm thinking about it, but I don't know because it is very deep work. But you never know. You never know in life. But I do feel like it will be in my life for the rest of my life because it's been incredibly just life-changing and life-altering in the ways that I think about things, the ways that I look at things, the ways that I understand life and the nature of life and the choices that I make and why I make them. It's been very beautiful, and I'm very grateful to Bert Hellinger, first of all, for kind of bringing this to the U.S., but also to the teachers who passed on their knowledge and the things that they learned onto my teachers and the teachers who passed it on to me, and now me who gets to pass it on to you. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you got something from it. I hope it was interesting, and thank you for your interest in learning about family constellations and for being here on the Vibrate to Create channel. I said it in a couple of other videos that may not have been released yet, but they may have, that I have a Patreon that I'm working on, and just something to kind of allow more support in so that I can keep this channel going and start creating even more videos and doing what I love to do, and so have more time to be able to make those things. So that is coming, and it may already be in the link in the description. So if you're interested in that, please do check it out. If you have any questions or comments or any insights or something you'd like to share about what you learned here about family constellations, please do leave that in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.